Thought Bubble Audio.
Look, up in the sky!
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Welcome to Beer with Geeks with Tim and Frank.
Who are you?
I'm Batman.
I am Iron Man.
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Hi, Christopher. I'm Nero.
My name is Inigo Montoya.
You're a wizard, Harry.
A couple of guys with a couple of beers and a whole lot of pop culture nostalgia.
Make it so, number one.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Beatles.
Name the dog, Indiana.
Life finds a way.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Now sit back and crack open a cold one, because it's time for Beer with Geeks.
It comes in paints?
Shaken, not stirred.
Great Scott!
I was way off. I knew it started with an S, though.
Hi, and welcome to Beer with Geeks, where two geeks geek out with beer. I'm Tim, and with me, as always, is my ever-loving brown-eyed friend, Frank. How are you today?
I am aflame with excitement today. It could be a rocky start.
Kind of a stretch to say that this won't be seen.
It's true, but any port in a storm.
Oh, good. That was a good one. That was a good one. Oh man, I'm gonna give you the. Nah, I've lost it.
The privilege of being the first one to tell you what beer I'm drinking.
Yes, that would be good.
That's. I'm just helping you with the segue.
Thank you.
I still have a couple of Old Brown Dog ales. It's the Smuttynose American Brown Ale. So I'm enjoying one of those. And actually, I didn't even do this on purpose, but I happened to grab a Smuttynose branded glass on my way down. It's
it's for the correct, flavor profile.
Exactly.
Here, right.
Mm-hmm. So yes, I'm sipping on this brown ale. Brown ales are one that I can't really drink out of the can. Like a lot of dark beers, it's like it.
You have to see.
I gotta smell it is the thing. Like to get the it's too bitter and it tastes different if I can't get the full aroma. And I guess it's also it's airing out or whatever. But yeah, that's just so much more delicious and flavorful coming out of the glass than out of a can. So yeah, normally I'm not really picky about those things, but for this particular kind of beer is one that I kind of like out of a glass. What are you drinking today?
I'm drinking a Samuel Adams Holiday White Ale.
Oh man, I have a few of those in my fridge and very nearly grabbed one of those.
That's excellent. I was actually drinking one when we spoke to Vactor on this Comic Cooks, because we used that as one of our episodes, but we didn't share what we were drinking that day, so I just kind of had it on my own. But it's so good. It's delicious. This is from my father-in-law.
Nice.
Actually, he had a couple, so he passed some off to me.
Nice.
But I felt like today's episode is like a holiday. It's a special day. So I grabbed the Holiday White Ale.
It's so funny. I had the same. I almost grabbed it, and I was like, "Oh, I could say that it's like a special day because it's a holiday because what we're talking."
See, the difference that makes the one delineating difference between you and I went for the stupid joke, and you smartly held yourself back.
Yeah, well, it was more of just I feel like brown ale. That was really the only reason. But now I wish I'd gone the other way because it would have been a lot funnier.
Also fine. Start it up, drink it up, do the episode again.
Yeah, exactly. Start this over.
No, but we are starting over is a fresh reboot of the Fantastic Four, the technically fourth outing.
Fourth. Yeah, I was going to say third time's a charm, but you're right. It's technically fourth.
It is the Roger Corman unreleased movie. Then there's the 2005 film plus its sequel, The Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Yep.
And then there's the
Fan Four Stick,
and now we are here with the MCU's debut of the Fantastic Four. We've got it's barely a minute long, but it does actually showcase quite a lot.
They pack a lot in there
and heart. So I'm excited to dive into it with you, Frank. What did you think? What do you think of the trailer without spoiling anything in the trailer? And also, do you like the Fantastic Four? Do you even care?
I don't know the Fantastic Four very well. So it's not even I don't like them. It's just that I'm not super familiar with them. I feel like I need, actually, maybe you could recommend some, one or two, like, what's the quintessential Fantastic Four run? Like, is there an ultimate Fantastic Four run that's like a really good one to read, or one that's kind of like Astonishing X-Men was for X-Men, where it's like, this is a really good, if you're gonna read one, like, this is really a solid one to do. Are there, if there are any Fantastic Four ones from you or from the listeners and viewers, I'd love recommendations. Leave them in the comments on YouTube.
So even though it sounds like a weird cop out to say, but honestly, the Stan Lee, Jack Kirby Fantastic Four is almost unsurpassed, because every wacky idea that you could love about the Fantastic Four is basically from them. And that's a beautiful thing. The John Byrne run is also very good.
That's right. I have heard that. Yes.
Yep. And so that's very good. From my own time reading the Fantastic Four.
What's one you really liked from your time reading?
I weirdly liked the Heroes Reborn Fantastic Four. That was, I remember it was one of the first comics that I picked up, was like some random issue of Heroes Reborn Fantastic Four when they rebooted the Marvel Universe.
And that's an unpopular opinion, isn't it?
It's super unpopular.
Okay, I thought so.
But Jim Lee did the art.
All right. So it's got that going for it.
Jim Lee's Doctor Doom is awesome.
Nice.
I liked Mark Millar's run for a while. And I'm actually going to use a lookup here because I remember the artist on the run, but not
artist on the run. Sounds like they're being chased, like Band on the Run. Or
the run.
Yeah.
No, that can't be right. So there was when it was just FF, when it was the Change to the Future Foundation, that was really good. That's actually worth reading. Jonathan Hickman was on that for a while.
Okay, that's that. I remember friends talking about Hickman's Fantastic Four at the time. This is like early 2010s.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I also liked Mark Millar's run on Fantastic Four. That was from a while. That was from a while ago too. And I also liked Ultimate Fantastic Four.
Oh, okay.
In the Ultimate Universe, it like kind of ebbed and flowed in quality. It wasn't like, I mean, nothing hit Ultimate Spider-Man. It was just it was so far from everything else. It was, but Fantastic Four has some like low-key, some like really good runs on comics.
Nice.
And so I can't remember where Council of Reeds comes from. It's like Eagle.
Was Council of Reeds before Council of Kangs?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so. Well, Council of Reeds is also where the Rick and Council of Ricks comes from.
Yes, that I know. Yes, yeah.
Dale. This is what I really. Dale Eagleshams, Jonathan Hickman. I'm thinking of Jonathan Hickman as the Council of Reeds.
Okay.
So Hickman, Eaglesham, that was really solid. I liked that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Solid Rex. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, I love the Fantastic Four. They're just like, they're just fun. Like the Fantastic Four to me are like quintessential comic book.
Yeah.
It's like character dynamics and heart and just the goofiest ideas. It doesn't matter if the science isn't real or correct or what. None of that matters because it's just fun.
It's such like Stan Lee classic character development. Like, it's just such a like it maybe more than Spider-Man is so emblematic of his style, because you get to cover all these different, the four different characters, the different characteristics. Sort of when you put them together, it's like you get more Stan Lee out of those four than you get out of just one Spider-Man.
It's a really good point. And also it's worth noting that like this is the only one he thought he was going to write when they were redoing Marvel, and they're like, Stan, write what you want. So he literally wrote what he wanted all the time. And like the other books, like Doctor Strange or Iron Man or Thor or whatever, he liked those other things, but like this was where his heart was.
Right.
And you can really feel that. And I loved the TV show when I was a kid, the animated show. It's not great, by
I never
modern
saw much of it.
standards.
I never
The
did
first
see much of
season
it.
is very okay,
Hmm.
and it got better in the second season. But this is how I was introduced to a lot of the Marvel universe, was through that show, the Iron Man show, and the Hulk show, because they basically could do they had access to every character that wasn't in Spider-Man or the X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sure.
like, I learned a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, and plus we've talked about that, the 80s Spider-Man animated Spider-Man show.
Yes.
And there was a 70s 80s Fantastic Four cartoon that had Herbie the robot in it. And they fought Magneto for reasons unknown to me.
Strange.
Fine. Magneto flew around in a magnetic car that was empty. And he stopped at a gas station, and they were like, "There's nothing in here to fill up." He's like, "That's because I use my magnetism powers to move."
No.
The car. Like, what are you doing?
Oh no.
Being made all over the place. But anyway, I used to like those two when I was a kid.
Nice.
Yeah. So I love Fantastic Four. I'm pumped for it.
I'm excited for it. The thing that I'm most struck by from this trailer is the aesthetic. The mid-century modern, very mod 60s look. It reminds me
futurist.
Yeah. It's that you turned me onto this Instagram account that's like retro sci-fi arts.
Oh, it's amazing.
Right?
Amazing account.
And it's all these like 50s and 60s like sci-fi novel covers and stuff that have all these like futuristic looking illustrations of sci-fi things, but they're so 50s and so 60s. They look like a mid-century living room, and that's what this is. Like, it's literally their apartment, the sunken living room in this apartment actually really reminds me of the main area in the TWA terminal at JFK. That's now the TWA hotel.
Oh yeah.
But you've probably seen where the big board is in that place, and it's a sunken sort of lounge.
But the big board.
Yes. Exactly. So yeah, it very much reminds me of that. Like, it's that style, it's that era, that TWA Pan Am, everything's going to be bright and shiny and chrome in the future.
What I also low-key loved about it also is like vaguely, because that's also Tony Stark's aesthetic in the MCU.
Yeah.
That's like also weird, like the sunken living room and retro. It's just like that, but not Tony Stark.
Right. For the first split second when Pedro Pascal was on the screen, I was watching it on my phone. So for the first second, I actually thought that was young Tony Stark, and I was like, "Wow, great! They brought this guy back. Amazing!" Oh no, that's Pedro Pascal. Okay,
no. That's good. That's why you should watch things on big screens.
Yes, I remedied that pretty quickly after that.
Good reason. No, I'm with you. I love the aesthetic, because I think for years we had talked about introducing the Fantastic Four into the MCU, and everyone said it should take place in the 60s, and then they go through a wormhole and are forgotten or something, whatever, do that thing, but it should be the 60s. And instead, Marvel's like, we can do that, but it'll just be a different world because we can do what we want.
Sure.
And I like it because it offers you all the fun of the artistic mind of Jack Kirby.
Yeah.
And the weird ideas of Stan Lee. And it doesn't matter if it makes sense or if it's there's Herbie, the AI robot, helping to make dinner. That's like a tape.
Yes.
Right. But also Reed Richards uses a chalkboard.
Yes. Yes.
It's like this, the dichotomy between those ideas are just, it feels so different, not just for the MCU, but even for a lot of stuff that we watched recently. It doesn't feel as cookie cutter as other things. So Marvel is loving its 70s aesthetic, like with the TVA.
True. Yeah.
Tony's aesthetic, and now with the Fantastic Four. It is definitely 60s, 70s. Truthfully, what it reminded me of more than anything, though, was the Jetsons.
Absolutely. Totally. Yeah. Same aesthetic. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all in that style, but it has the heart of the Jetsons too.
Yeah.
Which is really fun. So we're introduced to our the Fantastic Four themselves. They are celebrities in this world. is what
Yeah.
it's like, right. And so the people love them. Everybody loves them, and it's a good tone to set, like that. Nobody's like, oh, I don't know these weird people. They're like, no, these people are amazing.
Yes, yeah.
We love them. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see that. The read that Pedro Pascal seems to be displaying here is definitely Stanley Jack Kirby read.
Okay.
Because that read is an adventurer.
Mhm.
He's almost like he's more like Doc Savage than
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
Kirby, whatever. Like that's really what they went for. He's not bumbling, or that comes from, I'm pretty sure it comes from John Byrne. Like where they shifted Reed into being this, like, I'm not even aware of what room I'm in because my brain is somewhere else. I'm that
Gotcha.
But that's not like, he's smart, like, but there's a almost like a heftiness and an adventurer inside of him, and I'm excited for that because we've seen nerdy Reed twice now, like that style of Reed. So I like, if the aesthetic is back to Kirby and Lee, then as to should some of their characterizations.
That makes sense. Yeah. Really go back to the source, right? Like go back to the source and try to go adapt it from the original material instead of one of the later adaptations. So yeah, that's a fun one. I've always wanted them to do a Superman movie this way, like do a Fleischer era Superman in 1938 type of thing. I think would be just a really fun, different thing to do as like a period piece. But I'm super excited for this one.
Me too.
What do you think about what we saw of the casting so far?
They showcase some characters more than others.
Yes.
And so I thought, I said my piece on Reed.
Yeah.
I like Pedro Pascal. He doesn't necessarily look like Reed to me.
Yeah.
But that doesn't, whatever. So
if his temples are a little silver by the end of the movie, I'll be happier.
Pretty sure they are already. It's just hard to see.
All right, maybe
the thing, but
yeah. All right.
But he's a great actor, so I'm really not.
He's fantastic. He's fantastic. Oh yeah, they are kind of gray, but they could be grayer. They could
for
be
sure.
grayer.
He's got time to age though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he'll age into it. Yeah.
And so Sue Storm, I think, is more Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm. She's more in line with I think about Sue when I think about Sue in the comics than Jessica Alba or Kate Mara, who played her in the the movie. Both fine actresses in their own right.
Absolutely.
For what they do and whatever, especially Kate Mara, she's excellent. But they don't get, honestly, that movie doesn't, good actors, bad actors, whatever, that movie just was a mess from
It's a bad movie. Yeah.
So no fault of theirs, they just did what they were told.
Except Miles Teller, he sucks.
He's just punchable as ever. But no, she looks great, and honestly, she had the heart of the trailer in the voiceover. Like Reed's worry, like Ben before the start, you weren't invisible. Ben wasn't a rock. Like Johnny didn't get set on fire. All this stuff, and for her to be like, Ben's always been a rock. He's always been the rock. Johnny's always been Johnny, and I'm right here. Like we're gonna do it as a family. That is Sue to me. Yeah. She's the glue that holds this family together. And so I'm excited to see and she displays some action chops in there too.
Yeah.
The only person that we don't really see in action is Reed.
True.
We see his second superpower of being a genius.
Yeah. So that maybe they're saving that for, either for
the visual effects are ready
real trailer or, true. Yeah. That's probably the real reason. Yeah, you're right. But it probably will have more impact that way, whether that's what they intend or not. It'll have more impact when we do see it. So.
For me though, we've also seen Reed stretch. Like you can only showcase that so differently in so many ways. But like what invisibility looks like, what Ben Grimm is going to look like, what Johnny's going to look like, all flamed on. Those could be a little bit more unique to the movie. I was going to say something about Sue, but I forgot. So I'll move on.
Ben looks great.
He does look great. What do you think? Tell me more.
I love Eben Moss Bacharach. I think is a great actor. I love him on The Bear. I loved him in the name of it is escaping me now. But it was the Elizabeth Holmes company. Oh gosh, I'm gonna use my lookup. But he was in it. He was in a documentary, dramatized documentary. Amanda Seyfried was in it. I
have no idea what you're talking about.
You'll know as soon as I finish looking it up, and I get the name. It's called The Dropout, and it's about Theranos.
Oh, okay, all right.
So Amanda Seyfried played Elizabeth Holmes, and Eben Moss Bacharach plays the reporter who like ended up writing the big takedown the tell-all, essentially. And so it shows like while she's committing all the crimes, you also follow his story of like him following all the clues and like getting closer and closer. It's sort of like a very like all the president's men kind of thing. But it's he was fantastic in that. He was fantastic in The Bear. Like I think he's just great. And I think he's very adaptable. And I'm already like loving what I'm seeing. I think visually they made him look great as the Thing. And I think he's actually super well cast for that role that is sort of a tragic figure, you know, because he's actually really good at that kind of character. So super stoked about that.
I like his size, particularly like sometimes like in the last movie, the Thing was very large.
Yeah, giant,
like too big. And I like the practicalness of the suit in the early 2000s movies.
Yes.
But obviously Michael Chiklis was not a tall man.
Yes.
They didn't stilt him. So he's kind of average size for what he is. So like this is a nice little blend of the two of those where he's definitely bigger.
He's a tall guy, but he's not 8 feet tall.
He's not 8 feet tall. Right. And so I like that very much. He didn't look quite done to me yet, but I mean, it is a teaser trailer. The movie doesn't come out until July, 2 weeks after Superman.
July 25th. And what else happens right around July 25th?
My birthday.
Yeah, it does. That was my first thought when I saw it. I was like, hey,
my birthday. Guess what I'm doing? Not on my birthday, but pretty close to it.
Pretty close to it, yeah.
And so, yeah, it's a stacked summer. The Jurassic World Rebirth comes out.
That's this summer too.
Trailer drops today as of people watching this because as we're recording. Trailer drops for that today, cool. and then the week after that movie releases, Superman comes out, and then 2 weeks later it's Fantastic Four.
Nice. That's a great stretch of it's gonna be a good summer for the box office. I think
that's a good July.
Yeah.
For movie goers. Yeah, if they go to all of them.
Yes. Well, it's kind of like if the first couple are good, then people might keep going back, you know?
It's true. It like almost hinges on Jurassic World being good.
Yeah. Even before that, like what's Memorial Day? You know, like I don't know off the top of my head, but like whatever comes out Memorial Day weekend is probably going to be the one that sets the tone. So yeah, I don't know. Interesting. But it's a pretty stacked lineup.
Yeah. So the only thing about Moss's portrayal of Ben that I was a little surprised at but don't dislike is that he doesn't sound like he's from New York, and is usually like
true
quintessential from New York, you know. Yeah, and he's like, what I felt is he had the idea and the mannerisms of somebody that is like that, but he opted not to do the I'm from Brooklyn accent. Which it took me until like after I watched the trailer and my friend prompted me, be like, what did you think about this? And I said, I didn't think about that. I knew something was different and I couldn't put my finger on what it was because I was too distracted by the slightly unfinished CG. But I think you got like Ben cooking in the kitchen, like everything is beautiful. Just what I wanted. Not a lot of Johnny.
No, not much at all.
No. At least for speaking, I think he only says one thing.
I mean, we just see like one flame on and like him lying on the couch and like just a couple of shots, really.
Mm-hmm. His flame on, though, the full Human Torch look reminds me of Alex Ross's Human Torch. Alex Ross's Human Torch always has a very long trail of flame.
That yes, I have seen that. Because in Marvels, I guess.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
He did a big run on Fantastic Four covers for a long time.
Oh, cool.
But I think he did a Fantastic Four book 2, where he did recently.
Oh, wow.
But either way, I really liked the look of that very much. Some cool things we also saw in the Fantastic Car.
Yeah,
cool. We saw. Well, we're in full. Just watch the trailer now. We saw the back of the head of Galactus.
Yeah,
with his big goofy helmet. Love it. That's what I wanted.
And just like so subtle, just a shot, right? And like no attention really drawn to it, right? If you knew what it was, you knew what it was, but otherwise it's just the Statue of Liberty on the back of something.
You do recognize, at least if you really think, if you stop and look at it, how large Galactus is. Huge. Because the Statue of Liberty is really big. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
It looks tiny in this.
Yeah. So good use of perspective.
Yes.
There, it took me like, he's very large. That's a large Galactus. So I'm very excited for that. Pumped for that. No Silver Surfer. No shots of the Silver Surfer. But that's okay. There was a shot of John Malkovich. I don't know if you caught the old bald man with the long hair.
I didn't catch that was him.
That is John Malkovich. It is undisclosed who he is playing.
Okay.
Based on his look, I would guess, as much of the internet has, that he's playing the Red Ghost, which is a Soviet villain, like Russian villain, and he has like super apes like as his minions.
Okay.
Total like bonkers Stanley Jack Kirby.
Totally. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Just doing a thing. They're just doing a thing. Every time. Just every time. Doing a thing.
Always doing a thing.
That it could be, or they could go for a drastically different looking mole man. That would be the that would be the other guess, because he's technically the first Fantastic Four villain.
Oh my God, that is John Malkovich.
Yep.
I was like, what? Who is this guy, and why does he look like Shazam?
Oh,
know.
Totally. Yep. No, that is John Malkovich. Probably the Red Ghost. I can't really say much more on him than that. Like, he's not the most well-used villain. But in a movie that already has Galactus and Silver Surfer, whatever.
I was going to say Silver Surfer is going to be in this movie, right? Because it's hard, you can do Galactus without, but
it's a slight spoiler. It is a girl Silver Surfer.
Neat.
I cannot remember the actress who plays her, but instead of it being Norrin Rad, it's it is his wife, girlfriend, whatever, that he like basically says he'll herald for Galactus to save her life and the life of everybody else, but instead it's her.
She does it. Okay.
Yeah, I would guess. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
So
that's cool.
But yeah, we'll see where that goes. One thing worth mentioning, a slightly Easter eggy thing in the trailer, when Reed's writing on his chalkboard.
Yes.
If you look at the chalkboard,
yes,
it looks like he is like there's some multiverse, like different universe connective stuff going on. Like pictures of like tunnels connecting to tunnels, like with the little stripes and like Einstein Rosenbridge designs. And
so he's like figuring it out. He's like working out how to.
He's doing something, right? Yeah, something along those lines.
Interesting.
So I saw some speculation is that they actually do belong to the 616 universe, but they have been trapped on this planet for some reason.
Oh, okay. Interesting. So,
yeah. Which, I mean, I don't think it matters either way. Like, I kind of like that it's doing its own thing either way.
Yeah.
but obviously we should expect it to connect to the multiverse in some way because we're still in the multiverse.
Of course.
Saga. But yeah, that's it. That's where you can see that. Like I said, it's Reed's superpower is the stretchiness, but also it's the math,
The brain,
and the sciences. Yep, good stuff. I'm very excited for this movie. I was excited before. Do you like that shot of them at the end in their costumes?
I love that shot of them at the end, and in fact, the way it's shot, they're standing on this stage, this platform, with all these arrows pointing at them.
I wanna hold your hand.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like the Ed Sullivan stage. It looks like the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan show. So I wonder if they're appearing on some version of of the Ed Sullivan show.
Maybe that would be cool
as celebrities. And that's the shot we're seeing there.
Yeah, or at least even to the eye, you're supposed to look and be like,
it's supposed to evoke that
they're as big as the Beatles.
Yeah,
in the 60s.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Like
and there are 4 of them, so.
There's some nice direct intertextuality for you.
Yes.
And I'm on board for that.
Yes.
Frank, where can the people find us?
If you mosey on over to beerwithgeeks.com, you'll find us and all of our episodes, all of our, we've done past trailer breakdowns and that kind of thing. They're a lot of fun. You can hear us talk about the Josh Trank Fantastic movie disaster that it was. We were here. We were already podcasting when that movie came out. So you can go on over and check that out. I'll have that linked in the show notes, which you can find at beerwithgeeks.com. And you can also support us on Patreon. Patreon.com/thoughtbubbleaudio is how you do that and help us keep making the show. Plus, you can rate and review us in whatever podcast app you use. You can follow us. You can subscribe to us and hit the notification bell on YouTube. Leave a comment. Tell me what your favorite Fantastic Four comic run is, one that I should check out. Those are all the ways to hang out with us on the internet.
It's awesome. Well, Frank, it's a pleasure to talk to you about the Fantastic Four. But until next time, cheers.